This is the completed FM transmitter. Now you can get this to broadcast down in the AM band by changing the coil and the capacitor, the variable capacitor. Also, you can get it to broadcast in a higher band by changing the coil and the capacitor. But with this setup, it broadcasts in the FM band. This view is the bottom of the transmitter. And here's a wiring diagram of the transmitter. Now I'm going to supply a link to all these pictures so you can download them in case you would like to build this FM transmitter project. Looking at the wiring diagram, you can see that I use a 9-volt battery, and I have a 1K resistor and a 100 ohm resistor going over to the emitter, and at the emitter is one lead that is the audio input. Now if you need to change the audio input impedance a little bit, try moving that lead that's connected at E to the connection between the 1K and 100 ohm resistor. The two 10K resistors are the bias resistors for the base of the transistor. The .05 microfarad capacitor is the feedback path. And then we have a tank circuit, and you can see that's got 5 turns, and it's formed by wrapping it around a AA battery. And I've got a fixed 0.5 nanofarad capacitor and a variable 0.1 to 0.5 nanofarad capacitor, so you can tune it a little bit up and down the dial. Now that coil and capacitor are the ones that you'd want to change for changing it down to the AM band or maybe above the FM band. Now you can see on the second turn there's a tap that runs over to the positive side of the 9-volt battery. On the right side of the coil is the antenna, and of course a connection that runs down to the collector of the NPN transistor. And we have a 100K resistor connected to the base and connected to a .02 microfarad capacitor for the other wire of the audio input to the transmitter. And we have a diagram, a bottom view of this NPN transistor, and the leads are labeled C, B, and E. If you have not built a transmitter before, it's very important to pay attention to how the coil is made here and the placement of the parts. In this picture you can see how the tap is connected to the top of the coil, and here's another look at the other side of the top of the transmitter, and here's a side view of the bottom and a little bit of the coil also. And of course you have to be very, very careful that nothing gets shorted out. Now I'm going to do a little demo of this transmitter. I'm going to have the transmitter on my workbench, and I've got the little transistor radio across the room. I'd say it's probably about 12 feet away, and I'm just using a short wire as an antenna. So there's lots of things that you can do to make this little transmitter transmit farther, but this is a very, very good start, and it's a nice little FM project.
Yeah, we haven't hit a straight stretch for hours.
That's right. For every mile forward that we go, we travel 2 from side to side and 3 up and down. This isn't a road, it's a Laconga line. Why, when I think of we almost went in the ditch that time.
Why don't you try driving in the ditch? It might be smoother.
Leroy, this is no time to horse around. So if there was a horse around, I'd trade it in for this car.
You know, I'm getting kind of hungry.
Hungry? Well, so am I. Strange how much exercise you can get just bouncing up and down, isn't it?
Let's stop and eat at the next stop and eat.
It's all right. That place up ahead doesn't look bad. However, we're so far behind schedule. Let's just get some sandwiches to eat along the way.
Okay.
Come on, Leroy.
I'm right with you, Unc.
Oh, my. And to think if we hadn't mailed those tickets, we'd have been sitting in a comfortable train counting the telephone poles instead of dodging them. Let's sit here at the counter,
Tired, Uncle Mort?
Just my eyes, Leroy. Funny, I'd swear I was seeing gravy spots in front of them.
That's easy, Unc. You're looking at the waiter's apron.
Yeah? Oh, of course, yeah, that's it. What do you have, Leroy?
A ham sandwich?
Same thing for me, waiter, and we'll take them with us. Say, look, they've got cherry pie, Leroy. Would you care for a slice?
No, thanks, Unc. After that road we were on, I couldn't stand anything else with pits in it.
How long did it take you to drive from Fairview, Mr. Toby? Oh, about 7 hours, McGuire. This rate, I should be in Summerfield by 10. What is it? And you take it easy, too, mister. Don't get angry at me just because I warned you about that collection of bumpy ruts ahead of you. I accept that. Well, I'm the superintendent of road maintenance for this section, and this is State Highway Commissioner Toby.